Well,
I
I'm
guess
throwing
we
you a
can,
softball here because we got breaking news coming across the ticker right now. And
absolutely.
and that of course has to do with Kareem Hunt, who I guess people felt he had done his time or paid his penance or whatever for like kicking and hitting and pushing a woman. And unlike Ray Rice when he did this, although Ray Rice did it to his wife, and she seemed like she was maybe I guess cool with it would be the wrong thing, but she was like, yeah, sign him, afterwards. This woman was like a stranger. But anyway, Kareem Hunt, unlike Ray Rice, was in the prime of his career and is a real asset. And so the big question after he did this is, like, are they really just going to is no one going to sign this guy? We all knew
Mm,
someone was going to sign this guy. I'm a
mm.
little surprised it was the Browns. We can let's we'll not talk about like just kind of like the ethics of the situation and what we think about, should you sign a guy like this in general? Let's just talk about him from a fantasy standpoint as a talent going to the Cleveland Browns. What do you think? Why would the Browns sign Hunt? I mean,
I
other than the
mean,
fact that he's just an extremely talented running back.
extremely talented guy under a cost controlled, 1 year prove it style deal, and then it's a restricted free agency after that. So if he performs well, they get the option to keep him for a second cost controlled year. I mean, obviously, if you put all the ethics and all that aside, and the brown mark that will leave on the Browns' resume
Right.
here by the black eyes, so to speak. If you can
Sure.
stomach all that, then from a perspective, just regular season and an NFL perspective and just like fantasy perspective, it's a great move by the Browns. Sucks for fantasy owners of, let's say, you, Nick Chubb, dynasty owners. This guy was number 18 on my big board, and I was low on him at number 18. He's
Yeah.
going to fall now down to even, 26, 30-ish range. So I'm not going to send him, down to 50, 60, but below certain things. But now it becomes a question where he was ranking alongside the David Johnsons, those second-round running backs, above all those guys. Now it becomes, does he just drop to like the bottom of that tier, or am I moving him down to the Philip Lindsays, the Marlon Macks, the Sony Michels nowadays tier? Where does he fall? And that's where I have him going down now, is dropping well out of my second round and towards that middle of the third round, because he's still a very talented guy. He's still exploded down the stretch. He's going to have at least, I would say, 6 games, maybe even more. There's going to be a suspension here with Kareem Hunt, so Chubb will have that chance to establish himself as a every down
Yeah, I mean,
featured
that's
back.
why you can't drop him to 50 or something. The guy's going to
No.
get a chance to have a stranglehold on this job. He could be great. Who knows?
Exactly, but also Kareem Hunt might be a better overall running back, and he's going to come in fresher
I
than the
think he
rest of the
is.
league.
He's a better overall running back. I think so.
Multifaceted, at least in terms of pass catching, which Freddie Kitchens, a Bruce Arians disciple, will obviously love. Kareem Hunt's as good of a receiving back as you can find in the NFL, so he's going to come in fresher than anybody else come week 7. Nick Chubb's going to have that wear and tear on him. You got to expect this is going to go right into an immediate committee with the chance that Kareem Hunt could then take over. So yes, it'll be nice to have a great first 6 games of Chubb, and you hope that he just locks in that backfield and Hunt just becomes more of a complementary piece. But I don't see this guy,
That seems unlikely.
becoming a complementary piece. It's John Dorsey, the GM there, who drafted him and saw what this guy could do, leading the league as a rookie back when he was first drafted by Dorsey. So obviously he's willing to stomach that PR hit and take it, so he could have this talent back under his control. You got to imagine the Browns are going to give this guy every shot to play once he's officially reinstated. We don't know when that will be, of course. Again, speculation is about 6 weeks. It does hurt Chubb. I mean, now that I'm talking about it, I'm like, okay, yeah, you get a 6-week great rental of Chubb, but then are you losing him when it matters most for the second half of your stretch run? Does Kareem Hunt
It's
become?
a
I
very
don't
tough
know.
situation because one or maybe even both of these guys have real value, but it's tough to tell who and it's tough to
Yeah,
tell for how long. And it's like someone is, I'm covering all my bases. I'm hedging as much as I possibly could here. Someone is either going to get a real steal on one or both of these guys, or someone is going to really reach for one or both of these guys and get screwed. And I
yeah.
just don't know what that's going to be yet.
If I was drafting today, my approach would be like, if I took Chubb, let's say he's sitting there in the middle of round 3, and I'm like, okay, for 6 weeks at least, this guy's going to be a monster. So I take him, and but of course, again, your highest ceiling is he just locks down that job, and you can't go back because he's feasting so much. And that it could happen. I mean, he really was dominant for a significant stretch. But if you take him, you have to. You're locking talking yourself into Kareem Hunt. You have to take him.
And you're going to have to take him soon because he's not going to sit long. He's a name. Like, he's the exact type of guy that people, especially like uninformed people, will reach for.
Right.
So,
exactly.
like, you're probably going to have to take him in like the 4th round or maybe 5th.
I don't know. That's where
I really think so, man.
We'll see. I think is that black mark around Kareem Hunt that there's so much more uncertainty where I see him falling more to probably around 8 or 9 is where I'm going to anticipate he falls.
I would be shocked to see Kareem Hunt go in round 8 or 9.
6-game suspension though. That's
but someone's gonna read maybe 6 games. I guess that's more than 4. You're right. I mean, I've seen and maybe the 4th round's too high, but I'll bet someone's grabbing him in the 6th round.
Yeah. Okay. 6th round. And even there, that might not be a bad play because, yes, you get the certainty of 6 games of Chubb, but down the stretch, when you get a fresh Kareem Hunt coming in there, I can see that being, I'm probably not going to touch Chubb, let's be honest here. I think he's now undraftable, in my opinion. Whereas Hunt, let's see, if round 6, 7, if that's his range, I can see myself taking that plunge. You let him sit for a while. He's going to be coming back to run behind one of the best offensive lines, a surging offense under Freddie Kitchens, which was already dominating, and now he gets a whole offseason to scheme. You got Todd Monken, a great offensive mind there as well to create even more explosion. I think Baker Mayfield, my 2019 Pat Mahomes, already going on and saying that one. So I think this offense is going to skyrocket, and if you get a featured back in that system, and who's a better featured back, I really do think it's Kareem Hunt. For round 7 price, you just got to eat that bench spot for a few weeks.
I'm telling you, he's going to go sooner than you think. And part of it's his name. Like people draft people they've heard of.
Well, either way, his ADP has become one of the must-monitor storylines of the 2019
no question.
story.
And I mean, by the way, folks, it's February. Our opinions might both change on this. And in the next 6 months, we might think something different.